The presence of Zion Williamson alone will elevate the games of Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado. I think these two players, they're flying under the radar. The Pelicans, they're going to be a special team this year, man. Make no mistake about the situation. The Pelicans, they just revamped everything. I'm talking from the inside out, front office, on the court, personnel, coaching staff. I mean, it's going to be hard pressed to find a better world organization right now than the New Orleans Pelicans. They are truly building that culture, that they talk about down there in New Orleans. There's a lot of teams they can model this thing. It's going to be interesting to see the carryover from last season to this season with a new team. Pretty much, you got Zion coming back, which is a major domino. There's basically going to be a new team when you add in such a major piece, with the other pieces that was there. But we all know about Brandon Ingram. He's all world. We know C.J. McCollum. He's just nothing but sensational. But two guys who's flying under the radar, Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado. I think these guys are going to pay dividends. You look at a guy, Herb Jones, nothing massive in terms of the points. He's averaging 9 points, shooting 47% from the field, which is a good percentage. 3-point line, he's shooting only 33%. You need to definitely up that. He's definitely an oversized guard. At times he's running the point. He's 6'7". So the Pelicans are going to be a very lengthy team in terms of defending. This guy, he's going to be able to play multiple positions. And with Zion Williamson coming there, basically at times going point forward, just interchanging his position. And, Herb Jones is going to be able to be put in different situations and definitely capitalize. He definitely can spot up and hit threes. I think he's going to be doing that a lot more than he ever was. And let's get to my man, Jose Alvarado. I mean, seriously. Both of these guys, they were playing inspired basketball under Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram truly took all of these young players under their wing. Najee Marshall as well. They pretty much rode Brandon Ingram's wave, and Brandon Ingram took them to the promised land. But now when you add Zion Williamson, could you imagine the inspiration they're going to have now when you got a guy like Zion Williamson now fully healthy, maxed out, with the contract, and it's just he going to be looking to show out. You're looking at a guy in Zion who's just missed a significant time. He missed the whole entire season. You hear John Morant's name. You hear RJ. Both guys been to the postseason. The Pelicans made the postseason a season ago. It's time for Zion Williamson to taste postseason success. And I think Zion is going to pay the dividends. I guarantee you this. If they had Zion Williamson this playoffs, they would have probably ended up in the conference finals, seriously. Because they was just that good. They would have definitely beat Phoenix, and I believe they would have beat Dallas, and then who knows what would have happened from there. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on New Orleans, because we're looking at some of these teams like Dallas. I don't think, obviously Luka, but when you're looking from top to bottom, the Pelicans, to me, I like the Pelicans a little bit better than I like Dallas. I'm looking at, what am I looking? The team Memphis. They finished very high last season ago. Why can't the New Orleans Pelicans be better than Memphis? I think that's a question that I pose. The Pelicans are going to be a threat. Nobody's going to want to play them, because number one, they're throwing out two unstoppable players, and then you got C.J. McCollum at times is completely unstoppable as well. But Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, I could obviously say Brandon Ingram because we've seen it. Brandon Ingram is playing all world, and he's just completely unstoppable. There's no defense that's going to be able to stop him. He done seen doubles, triples, just everything. There's nothing that's going to shake Brandon Ingram, and to pair him with Zion, I think this is going to be crazy, and they're both locked up under contract. They're not going anywhere. The Pelicans got an opportunity to be special for a long time. They're going to be a threat. Do they need to make another move? I don't know. Let's see. You working with a big three right now, and people don't even know it. I don't know why people are sleeping on New Orleans. They got a big three. When you got CJ, Brandon Ingram, and Zion, you chart now 2 20-point per game scores. Three to me personally, they're three All-Stars. CJ never made the All-Star team, but CJ McCollum is an All-Star level player. You're looking at a guy like, obviously, B.I. made it. He got jerked last season. I think he should have made it. It was only because the Pelicans, they didn't, they wasn't even right position at the time. That's how crazy the situation was. The Pelicans completely made a 180 on this season. They could have easily packed it in and just gave up. But they played inspired basketball, and I'm expecting the inspired play to carry over. Now, you see Zion Williamson, his presence at the Summer League, they're all clicked up. They're a team. The media and critics, they try to make it seem like it was hell on earth out there in New Orleans. It never was the case. I think it was a little overblown. Was it a little friction? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a little something, but it wasn't to the point that the media was making it seem like it was World War III and crazy shit like that. It was going to be the end of the world. It wasn't going to be like that. Zion Williamson is he's a special talent, and we're about to see it, and we're going to see how he impacts other players. He's definitely got to show his leadership, and these players are going to be looking to ride his wave, and be led by Zion and Brandon Ingram. It's going to be interesting to see how B.I. and Zion figure this whole situation out on the court, because the last time we seen them on the court together, it wasn't the worst pairing, but it wasn't a home run either. So I think with the brains now, with Willie Green, CJ, I think they're gonna get it right. Get the chemistry, get ways they could play off one another. That pick and roll should be deadly. Brandon Ingram is a hell of a playmaker. Zion Williamson is a hell of a playmaker. This team is gonna be able to play a multitude of different ways. And Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado is going to pay the dividends. I'm telling you, don't sleep on these two players. Jose, never known as a scorer, but Jose Alvarado, he definitely in college at Georgia Tech, he averaged 13 points per game, and he shot 44% from the field from college. So he has potential to he could just chip in. He's a basketball player, so let's see, man. New York City product, Herb Jones, New Orleans, and they want to be in New Orleans, and that's the best part. They want to be there, and at one point in time, you didn't know who wanted to be in New Orleans. I could firmly say all of these guys want to be there, and they want to build the culture in New Orleans. It's Flight Sports TV. Let's check this out.